view on the price of streaming wars. I mean, literally price. I do not understand people when they tell me Disney Plus is expensive. Disney Plus has been bumping up their ranges. Disney, when Warner Brothers went belly up with the whole scandals of, J.K. Rowling's view on transgender people. There's also Ezra Miller, which I could bring up, Ezra Miller. There's also the toxic work ethics of Warner Brothers. So how is it that people do not believe in them? I mean, literally, the rumors, the talks, and yet people think Disney Plus is evil. When they bumped up their ranges, when they bumped up their prices. When you have huge subscribers, a huge range of subscribers, and there is a COVID pandemic going on, and there is a strike, an actors and writers strike on people, which, by the way, writers at Warner Brothers have demonstrated, nay, screamed to the heavens that Warner Brothers is a toxic work ethic place, that David Zaslav has skewered all the writing that they've done, all the stuff that they've done. The Batgirl movie we were supposed to get with Rosie O'Dawson, I forget her name. Shit. I think it's... Yeah, Rosie O'Dawson, isn't it? She's the one who plays in Ahsoka. She's also the one who's played the nurse in Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist. Yeah, I've watched Iron Fist. It's not good. Yeah. The Punisher. Yeah, I believe she was on The Punisher. But she was supposed to play Batgirl. There was even set photos leaked online of her playing as Batgirl. So, and during the COVID pandemic, before Disney bumped up their prices, Warner Brothers spiked them up like crazy. Like crazy. I do not understand the worth ethic of how people think, the price ranges think. When Warner Brothers was going belly up, Disney saw the range with their huge bump with the Disney bundle that people thought it would be cool. Like me, who thought it'd be cool if Disney and Hulu were merged together as one in the Disney bundle subscription. But they could not do that due to the overhaul of Universal Studios, who have now left to go do Peacock, which I don't get, people. That Peacock thing is like Hulu, but with Universal's touch on it. Universal's version of Hulu. And then there's the whole Ezra Miller situation. There's the whole scandal of there's even bad work ethics. So with all this skewered out, Warner Brothers was panicking and freaking out. The whole writers who are creating stuff, their creativity was being skewered and thrown out the trash. The work ethic in Warner Brothers was coming out, and people started to leave. The subscribers, everything. The overall evil of Warner Brothers. I mean, honestly, it's like you cannot imagine Warner Brothers without the Conjuring version of devil horns coming out of both ends of that Warner Brothers. Like, emblem with WB. There's so much negativity that Disney saw the look and said, we could merge Disney Plus and Hulu into one subscription, into one app. But we cannot do that due to the touch of ABCs, aka the owners of Warner Brothers. Due to Warner Brothers having their shares. So Disney saw the look and noticed, let's spike our price ranges just a little bit up. We have the COVID pandemic, people are leaving. When people are leaving subscriptions due to the COVID pandemic being over and everything being released, Disney freaked and started spiking their prices up, because when people think economically, when people start leaving, when their customers start leaving, price ranges get bumped up higher. And that's what was going on with Disney. And the evil of Bob Chapek with his AI Skynet system thing he was doing, which is what caused the actors and writers strike, by the way, with AI. Which, thank God, he got thrown out. He got fired. And that's why I like Disney. Because Disney, unlike Paramount and Warner Brothers, they have a system of when even somebody like a CEO is going out of control. But they could not do that. Even Kevin Feige could not do that sooner because of the COVID pandemic and all the craziness going on and the writer's strike and blah, blah, blah. But he got the lawyers. And so did Lucasfilms, and so did Lucas, Marvel, Star Wars, yeah, Lucasfilms, same thing. So if you think about it like this, Warner Brothers has done so much evil, cynical things. They could not spike up their price range because they were still paying hush money for the Ezra Miller case. They were doing all these illegal shits and toxic worth ethics that the money could not be paid for Hulu any longer. And that's why Disney, and how Disney was able to say, come on, let us have all the shares of Hulu. Our customers want a merged Disney Plus and Hulu subscription with ESPN Plus if they have it. Let's have your shares. That's what happened. And that's why Disney was spiking up their price range. I thought economically and ethically, that's what's going on when they were spiking up the price range. And also because of the COVID pandemic and people leaving, and because people weren't stuck in stores anymore. So now Warner Brothers went to Paramount Plus subscription, which had the evil of Dan Snyder, by the way, passed, and not as bad as Ezra Miller case, by the way. If you think about it, just I know, but think about it. But oh my gosh, some of the stuff on Paramount that they put on the kids shows. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they put that on there. There's so much inappropriacy. Even in that Henry Danger series, I remember watching Henry Danger a little bit, some of it. And I'm like, ew. Like they're making fun of superheroes. They literally are. Captain Man? Seriously? WTF? That is so diminishing of a superhero story. And I get it was a comedy, but Captain Man? Why? And I don't know how I feel about the Danger Force. Maybe the Danger Force is a good thing, but there is so much inappropriacy in Paramount that if you look under subscription of Paramount of parental orders, Paramount's not on there. It's not under parental control to be allowed to view. Because there's so much inappropriacy thanks to the evil of Dan Schneider and the inappropriacy of Dan Schneider. So, with that going on, apparently we just heard that Dan Schneider, his head of horns, devilish horns, thought, okay, we're not going to merge with Paramount anymore. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to be our own way. How can you think like this? Your studio company has gone under so much bad publicity that a studio like Paramount Plus has gone over similar, not as bad, with your cult of Ezra Miller and your letting of J.K. Rowling spew about her transphobic views and your leaks about the toxicity worth ethics of Writer Room and toxic worth ethic relationship with Legendary Pictures. You're telling me, under you're going this much fire, that you're not even going to merge with Paramount, who has gone under similar, but not as bad as yours, political or toxic publicity views. Even, I mean, trust me, there's even some weird shit on Zoe 101. I know some girls love Zoe 101, but there's just some things they do that is not appropriate. Oh, and don't get me started on Drake Bell. Oh my gosh, when I heard he had a relationship with a girl from a place that I grew up in, ew. That's just nasty. That's wrong. And he was toxic to her. Very toxic in a relationship with her. And Drake Bell with his toxic shit. I mean, how did Disney, well, probably under Bob Chapek, they let him in and voice Ultimate Spider-Man, which Ultimate Spider-Man was a good animated movie or series, but the Spider-Man from 1990s was great. I have heard talks of the writer of the Spider-Man 1990 series wanted to continue it. However, I do not think that's going to happen due to, if you look at it, they're already giving us a view of the old genre comic books that the Spider-Man had, the animation style, in the new Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I think, show. I think that's what it's called. It's going over his school years, but if you think about it also, the show is kind of a what if. Because I've seen some pictures, if you look them up online, of the show, and there's an image of Norman Osborn, who, if you look back from Captain America Civil War, when Tony Stark initiated Peter Parker in the Avengers, or in Team Iron Man, to fight Captain America, which, by the way, I still love that movie, Captain America Civil War. Way to go, guys. That movie. And it's from guys who are from Cleveland, by the way. Cleveland! Ha the Russo brothers. Who thinks under Bob Chapek he screwed up, and now thanks to him we don't have the Russo brothers anymore. Yeah, Bob Chapek did screw up Disney during the COVID pandemic, even though he did settle things, because when Bob Iger left, the COVID pandemic came in and Disney was going to shit. So I do think that there is some thanks we can give to Bob Chapek, but due to the AI leaks and I don't think he had toxic work ethics. I think under Kevin Feige and Lucasfilm, they helped to manage that without getting out. But yeah, Warner Brothers and Paramount had a discussion, and like the devil horns of Warner Brothers, David Zaslav said, no, we're not doing it. We're doing our own thing. How can people still think Warner Brothers is cheaper? Yeah, it's cheap, as in a cheap fucking scam, in my opinion. You have a head CEO who is diminishing the company, who is having toxic environments, work ethics, control being spewed under chaotic control, and yet you think Warner Brothers Max, which is now called Max, is a good deal. They barely came up with shit over the years. I don't care what you guys think about the House of Dragons, which I cannot watch because due to my mental health, I can't. I tried, I watched it, I can't. Sorry, but I did try during the COVID pandemic, but... And then you have all this toxic work ethic environment coming out, and people aren't listening and thinking, oh, Warner Brothers Max is cheap. But Disney has come up with really good storytelling over the years. I understand how people feel about Disney coming up with stuff too soon. I do think Bob Chapek rushed things. I do think they should have slowed down. But with me being a mental health advocate, I do see good in the Loki film. I see a lot of greatness in the Moon Knight. Moon Knight was just beautiful masterpiece of mental health. It's a love between a guy who struggles with identities of himself that he created to cope with his mother's abuse. In the comics, it was the father, which actually that's why I love Moon Knight. In the comics, it was his abusive father, but in the show, they did a mother, so clearly people who wrote it had mommy issues. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm not, but I think Moon Knight deserves a lot more credit. Oscar Isaac did a beautiful, phenomenal job. Wow, he's damn good as Moon Knight. They really should have came up with a better glider for Moon Knight on Fortnite, though. Really cannot believe they didn't come up with that Moon Knight gliding thing that he has that ability to do. To soar. I think he has like a soaring or gliding ability. Not much as flying, but man, he's good as Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac. He's damn good. The acting. Wow. I'm admiring him for the mental health look and the storytelling. He's actually executive producer of the show. If you ever watch the credits. But yeah, I think they should have rushed things. I think they should have done a lot better with Miss Marvel. I know some people love her. I know I can understand that, but I read her in the comics. She's less annoying to me than in the comics than she is annoying in the show and in Miss Marvel or the Marvelous movie. But I think she was a good comedic thing too. So yeah, this price ranges. Would you? I don't understand. And Netflix having their prices bumped up. They've bumped up their prices so fucking constantly over the years. Even before Disney, even before Disney Plus, or before HBO Max, or just Max, before Paramount Plus. They've bumped up their price ranges so fucking high. It's like high as crack. Like, oh, we got more prices now. Oh, yeah. I don't understand Netflix and their work ethics. There's been a lot of toxic work ethics too. So yeah, and I have sound sensory issues, which means some high volumes, like say a Cavs game, can really hurt my mental health. Can really give me a headache because of the high and the loudness. There's even issues I've had with people singing, rampantly playing their video games. Housemates, by the way. Just high pitched, I think, sometimes. That's my sound sensory issue. Where it's like high pitched and like, like it's like, to me, it's cat scratching on a chalkboard. You know? So, yeah. To me, sound is HD quality also. So, I don't understand how Disney is expensive and yet Netflix and Warner Brothers Max is cheaper. And Paramount Plus is cheaper. But I don't know. Paramount Plus has its it's getting better. Their entertainment. Since Dan Snyder left. So yeah, I don't know. I think Disney is a good deal. I still see a lot of good in Disney. I think it has a government political control volume. If you've watched my views on, how Disney is a Star Wars story during the COVID pandemic. I love that Disney bought 50%. Because one of the equipment that Fortnite uses is owned by Disney, promoting productivity from Disney that they use is a share from Disney. So Epic Games is 50% owned by Disney. I think it's good. I honestly think this is a great thing. I think people are blind and naive to jump to the fact that all because they're going to get rid of guns, they're going to get rid of what, AK-47s or which I don't see AK-47s. I just, if they create blasters, I don't see a problem with that. Like, seriously. Or actually, it would be cool if there was a weapon where we could shoot like Buzz Lightyear. Wouldn't that be cool? Lightyear was a great movie, I think. It really gave a lot of sympathy to people like me who are sick and medically challenged and had to go through all these medical trials and were stuck in the hospital all these years. So people are aging and we're just stuck in the hospital. So similar to how Buzz Lightyear has to do all these missions. And thanks to his medical stability, he can do these jump points where over the years he sees his friends age and all this stuff. Man, I really think they screwed up by putting it out on Father's Day weekend. It should have come out during 4th of July, honestly. Similar to Marvel's. I think Marvel should have came out on 4th of July weekend. And Transformers Rise of the Beast, which, by the way, is directed by someone from Cleveland, Ohio. Hello! So, yeah. That's my view of these streaming wars and just all these price ranges. How people view the price range. I do not see how they could think how people think like this with these price ranges.